and we get caught up with that all the time.
No, it's hard. We give ourselves the shorter end and we volunteer for the worst deal, the bad deal. We volunteer for it because of how it looks on the outside. I'm going to volunteer to so and so's marriage. I'm going to volunteer to jump into a marriage because, and I know this person doesn't mean me any well, but here I am. I'm going to jump into that because of the appearance of it. It looks like she's happy. It looks like, oh, she's married. The family is whole now. Not even. And that could be the most destructive process you could ever engage in, to jump into all these bad deals, and you handshaking with these folks and agreeing. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Unadulterated You. I'm Bianca, and this is
Teddy. What's going on? We got a new video for y'all.
Yeah, so our topic tonight is keeping up with the Joneses. What does that mean? What does that term mean?
Well, first of all, I think keeping up with the Joneses, that's an old school term, and it really doesn't mean nothing. It's kind of like just a cliche thing that people use, but pretty much it's just people saying, well, you just trying to show off, or like certain people have a certain type of status, and you're trying to live up to what them people got. Mm-hmm. Even though a lot of them top people that have that status don't really got it. They putting up a front, but you want to live up to that status too.
Yeah. So are you trying to keep up with the Joneses?
Well, I'm going to be honest. I think all of us have a point in our life where we tried to keep up with the Joneses. Mm-hmm. Some of us are still currently trying to keep up with the Joneses, but I think all of us have been to that point somewhere in our life.
Well, yeah. I mean, in a way, I guess it has levels. So it could be you getting that certain type of hairstyle, which is simple, up until you trying to get the same car, the same house that so-and-so has. Or it could be your neighbor next to you that you have the same type of house, but you feel like your car doesn't meet the status, or it's just crazy. Like, why are we trying to, number one, compare ourselves to others, and then in turn we put ourselves through a rat race to try to keep up with what they have?
I mean, at the end of the day, it's just a whole bunch of people trying to put up a front. You trying to be something you're not.
Yeah.
I think at the end of the day, and this is with me too, because I've been there before too, and still there to some degree. It's like you got to get to the point where your life where you're happy where you at.
Mm-hmm. And happy with what you have. And I think, we all are going to develop needs, as we learn, as we grow. Say if you have a 3-bedroom house and they're already filled, and you have another child, you're going to need another house. Okay, we get it. Or you may build on another room. Okay, understood. But, when we go to the extent of getting all these things that we don't necessarily need in the name of, look what I have, it's just really not a smart choice.
Exactly.
But I got a question now. I know you probably wanted to talk more on the topic of possessions and material things, but I got a question.
Okay.
Keeping up with the Joneses. What about people with spiritual gifts? And maybe they have one, or they had a spiritual gift, or it's not really in tune, or I don't know, whatever it is going on, and you have the spiritual gift, and you see somebody else prophesying, so you got to get up and match what they doing, No, I'm not talking about any particular person.
Yes, you is.
Well,
I ain't gonna say their name, but I know who you talking about.
No, because I don't know what the motive is behind that person. But I just thought about keeping up with Joneses, and I thought spiritually, do people do that?
Of course they do, because it's like a certain, it's like a notoriety, or you want a certain platform.
So like God said.
Well, see, that word right there is dangerous. Like when you say God said or thus saith the Lord, those words are dangerous. Because like even with our channel, like we unadulterated, yes, you're Christian, I'm Christian, and we talk a lot of Christian bases, but we'll never say God said, just y'all people got to do this. No, that's a dangerous game to play.
Yeah, well, okay, so all these things that God said are in the Bible. Great, okay. We definitely can relay that message. But are we over here talking about God said you're going to win the lottery next, trying to predict some things for you or trying to prophesy to you? Not quite.
No.
Not quite. And then again, that's not saying that God can't speak to us and tell us something to say to an individual or to you guys or whatever. It's not to say that, but it's just the fact that, remember we talked about friends and using the term loosely. You can't use this term loosely saying that God said something. So really, people do that to kind of one up another person or, oh, look at me, I'm here. Back to keeping up with the Joneses type of stuff.
Hey, since you went there, I'm gonna hit the elephant in the room. There's a lot of prophets right now scrambling right now because there was prophets that were saying that Biden was gonna win. Then there's prophets that said that Trump was gonna win, and it's like all of them was going head to head. It's like it's crazy because we talk about religion, but it's like these same church figures. To me, they seem like Bloods and Crips right now. They online going after each other, talking about each other online. And it's like, it seemed like some street war, like where they throwing up gang signs like, I said Biden gonna win and blah, blah, they thought, it's crazy.
What spirit is behind that?
It's crazy.
I don't know. It's like, what spirit? Okay, that's not to say the people, whoever you are, or whoever they are, aren't prophets or they're not. That's not to say that. It's the fact that we've kind of lost sight of what, that is about anyway, about, prophesying or whatever. It's not about, so I can one up you and I'll get the word from God first. And he said this. People are so anxious to get the word from God first or declare the word of the Lord first. And they jump online and say some crazy stuff, and never really willing to listen to God. Remember, I think it was a Ron Carpenter thing when he was talking about, like, you could hear God say Africa or something.
No, that was Creflo. No, that was Creflo Dollar.
Okay. Well, yeah, you may hear God say something, or you may hear the Holy Spirit, or may lead you here or there. However, have you had a chance to sit with that and really understand what is he trying to say to you? For me,
yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna try to say the analogy like all the way out so people can understand what you're saying. Because what you're saying is 100% right. But Creflo Dollar was saying, and for y'all Creflo Dollar haters, well, it is what it is. But he said sometimes God will speak to you and he'll say a word and you'll take it and run with it way past what he said. Mm-hmm. So he'll put in your spirit Africa. And that's all he said. He ain't say nothing else, but you'll add to it and say, well, God said I need to move to Africa.
Or you move to Africa before That's the way we do. We jump the gun and move on something when we haven't gotten full instruction. So for me, I'll just say when I have dreams, I've had amazingly, I've had 3 dreams that were kind of in sequence to one another. And just say if I had moved on the first dream, not really knowing the other 2, then, maybe I wouldn't have even received the other 2 because I moved on this first one, not really willing to sit with it and get an understanding. And even now, I'm still kind of letting it marinate and trying to, get the full understanding before I be like, oh, this is the word of the Lord. He said, I can't even do that. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, you didn't even give a chance for it to manifest because, like, he might have said Africa and you jump to the conclusion and say, I'm going to move to Africa. And then you die, you get to heaven, and you say, well, God, my life was all messed up. I moved to Africa, it was a mess. And God tell you, well, yeah, I said Africa, but I never told you to move to Africa. I just said Africa because I want you to pray for Africa. But you assume that I said Africa, that that you went and moved there. So I feel that's a lot of things that happen with these people out here who's out here prophesying all these words and stuff like that. And again, I can't judge them because I'm not a prophet. I don't know a lot of stuff. I'm confused about a lot of things. But when you go out here and say, "Thus saith the Lord," and God said, that's a dangerous playing field.
Yeah, the heart of the thing is really what we don't know, and only God knows. And as well as the heart of people who are trying to keep up with one another. You know, your motives behind what you do, you know, maybe just for show or whatever, only you and God know. So it's just something I don't even want to entertain, like that type of mindset.
I mean, that goes back to what we were just saying, is keeping up with the Joneses, because we started this video on a materialistic thing, but I'm glad how you took it to a spiritual thing, because a lot of these preachers and prophets and stuff like that, they keeping up with the Joneses because so-and-so over on this side said this, and you feel the need that you need to say that so you can compete with them. But the thing is, God ain't really tell you that. You just trying to make it seem like, well, you keeping up with them.
Yeah,
and it's like
we try to rush our own progress and process. We try to rush it every time because, you know, we want it now. And so-and-so is the same age as me, and she got her prophetic gift. So-and-so's the same age as me, and he got his Escalade. Why can't I have mine right now, too? And so-and-so is younger than me, and they got their house. It's time for me to buy a house. You know, all of these thoughts we entertain, we put in pressure on ourselves, taking all this stuff so seriously, like I gotta have. None of that stuff is going to have any weight in the end, even those empty prophetic words or empty gifts because you used it in the wrong manner are not going to have any weight in the end. It's going to be, if anything, it'll be counterproductive to your spiritual being and, you know, just here on earth as well.
Exactly. I agree with you on that one. But going back to the physical part, I mean, we talked about the spiritual, but with the physical, I mean, people do this every day. Like I'll give you a perfect example. I had a friend where they asked me to go with them to buy a car, and we got on the lot. There was 2 cars there, and they was about the same price range, but one was, I'll throw out names. One was like a Honda Accord, and it had less miles, newer, and better condition. And then you had one that was a BMW that was older, had more miles, no warranty, nothing like that, but the same price. And it was like they had a decision to make where which car are they gonna pick. But they was really thinking about buying the BMW because society tell you that the BMW is a better car or it's nicer, and the thing is, it was a worse deal. The Honda Accord was a better deal. It's newer, it had less miles for the same price, and it had a warranty on it. But because they were trying to keep up with the Joneses and try to get that car, the BMW, and we get caught up with that all the time.
No, it's hard. We give ourselves the shorter end, and we volunteer for the worst deal, the bad deal. We volunteer for it because of how it looks on the outside. I'm going to volunteer to so-and-so's marriage. I'm going to volunteer to jump into a marriage because, and I know this person doesn't mean me any well, but here I am. I'm going to jump into that because of the appearance of it. It looks like she's happy. It looks like, you know, oh, she's married. The family is whole now. Not even. That could be the most destructive process you could ever engage in, to jump into all these bad deals, you know, and you handshaking with these folks and agreeing to it and paying for it in the end.
Exactly.
Why?
Right.
The most, you know, that's why we have to esteem ourselves a little bit higher or a little bit better and know who we are and what we deserve, because we shouldn't be volunteering for something that's going to basically tear us up, tear us down, stress us out, all this other stuff in the name of how it looks. They can have that. No. You can have that BMW. You can have that marriage. You can have whatever it is that's not good for me.
I know one thing I'm learning is the power of patience.
Yeah.
I mean, when you're willing to wait and not jump on the first opportunity, it's like it's a special gift or anointing on waiting.
Yeah, you're right. You're right, and that's something that I would encourage all of us to consider, myself as well. And that's it. Have some patience instead of trying to keep up with everyone else, because you're gonna handshake for the wrong deal, and one of these deals is gonna probably take you out, because that's how bad it's gonna be. You sign up for that BMW that's not good, and you get out there on the highway, and God forbid, you wreck yourself. We don't want that. So I'm talking to me, y'all, and I'm talking to y'all, and I hope
Exactly.
that you got something out of this video. We're so grateful for you coming through and watching, as always. Just to encourage you guys and come to a better perspective is our only goal. And so hopefully that's been done. And we look forward to you commenting, sharing, and just engaging with us a little bit more. What you think?
Yeah, absolutely. Just wait. I mean, we're not trying to speak against BMWs, but maybe God got a better deal on a better BMW later on. You don't have to get it right now.
That is
So
right.
just
like
wait.
We still like them, actually.
Oh yeah, them joints is fly. You crazy?
Yeah.
Did you see that new X7?
No, I didn't. But if somebody gave it to you, I bet you're not gonna turn it down.
What? That joint crazy.
We're not gonna sign up to pay $1,200 a month for it and go kill ourselves working for something we won't even be able to enjoy. That's the same
Exactly.
about the appearance of, like I said, having friends or a relationship that's not good for you. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So, something to think about.
Exactly.
We'll talk with y'all next time.
We appreciate you checking out us, and the fact that you did here this long, that means you watched it to the end, and we appreciate y'all.
Yeah, thanks, guys. See you next time. Hello, everybody.
This goes on the blooper video at the end of the year because she messed up.
What the hell? Excuse me, please. I'm so glad we're not live. Oh my God.
She messed up. We 2 seconds in, she messed up.
I'm gonna cut that out.